Power strokes, from the 7.3 all the way to the 6.7. They come in all different shapes and sizes. But everyone's favorite, it seems like, is our little friend, the 6.0. Or at least I thought it was, my friend. We're about to investigate and find out everything wrong with this 6.0 Power Stroke, and come to the conclusion of this video of why they are so infamously unreliable. We're going to start with my truck and what is so unreliable and wrong with it. And trust me, there is a lot. Today, we're going to be taking a deeper dive into my 6.0 Power Stroke, seeing everything wrong with it and what all needs to be done to fix it, and also everything that I'm going to be doing in the future of this truck to make it go 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds. Stay tuned. I'm going to be running down the top 10 things that are wrong with it, and then also the top 10 things that I'm going to do to fix it to make it go 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. And then I'm also going to be showing you guys the 0 to 60 stock. I'm going to be doing a 0 to 60 in this thing as is right now. There's nothing done to it, not even an EGR delete or a tune. It is literally bone stock. The 7.3 0 to 60 was 12.93 seconds completely stock. So we're going to test out this thing, see if it's any worse. First off, I'm going to go over some of the basic stuff that could be fixed, that should have been fixed before I bought it, but we bought it as is. That number one is going to be the half shaft. It's completely missing a half shaft. I got to add another one of those. The speedometer doesn't work, so it needs a speed sensor. Those are cheap and easy fixes that I can do. If it is as they say it is, just a missing half shaft and a missing speed sensor. The next one is going to be the squealing of the belt tensioner. I believe it's the belt tensioner or just the belt in general that's making that squealing noise up at the front. And if it is, that is a really cheap and easy and quick fix. All I gotta do is buy another belt and a belt tensioner and replace it. Be doing that hopefully in the next week or two. The third or fourth thing is going to be injectors. I don't know if the injectors are going bad on this thing, but inside the cab, I do hear a little bit of a ticking noise and a little bit of rattling noise. And at idle, this thing sounds more like a 7.3 instead of a 6.0. So I do think that the injectors are on their last legs. This thing does have 189,000 miles on it. But I do think the injectors are about to go out. The fourth thing is going to be the front left wheel bearing is going bad. As I'm moving forward, my front left wheel bearing is squeaking, which basically tells me that the front left wheel bearing is going out. So I am going to have to replace that. That's about a $200 fix. Nothing really crazy, and I'm hoping just to buy it from AutoZone. So fifth or sixth one is going to be the coolant. I do need to do a coolant drain and flush very, very soon here because the coolant is very dirty. It's slightly overfilled, which you guys know on 6.0s is not the best for them. So there's a lot of other maintenance items. That was my kind of number 7 one, was there is a lot of other maintenance items to be done on this truck, such as fuel filters, oil filter, transmission fluid, the coolant flush. So that being said, oil and oil filter I already changed, guys. So I just wanted to get that really changed real quick. I will film another video with that after I hit 3,000 miles on this thing, me actually changing it, because I like to change it every 3,000 miles, especially on a 6.0 Power Stroke, because these injectors are oil driven, they're not fuel driven. So the oil is very crucial to keep clean. But the oil filter actually isn't by the oil pan. It is up by the actual engine base. Very different from all your other oil filters, guys. So you don't actually have a housing that you replace. You don't have a metal housing that you replace. You actually just have the filter that you stick down into the housing. So you don't ever have to replace the housing. But for some reason, guys, the freaking filters are 2 times more expensive than the 7.3 ones. I believe my Motorcraft 7.3 ones were about $10.91. These freaking cost me $32 to get a whole new, just one oil filter. I'm not complaining because I did buy this truck and I knew the expenses I would incur with it, but I had no idea that an oil filter would be $32 for this thing, for just the filter. It doesn't come with the housing or anything. And I've heard a lot of people say you absolutely want to stick with Motorcraft on these things because these things are so oil driven that you don't want to put anything else in them. The 6.0s are coolant and oil driven. Like, that is the one thing that you got to watch out for, is the coolant and the oil. So I also changed the transmission fluid just because I don't know if that's ever been changed on this thing. I just really wanted to get it changed. I didn't flush it. I just did a drain and fill, and actually it's shifting a lot smoother now that I changed it. The next one, guys, is going to be the power steering pump, and that is one that I really am not too sure about. On the 7.3, when I was having a possible power steering problem, I thought it was the power steering pump, but it was actually just the fluid was low. I checked the fluid on this thing and it's not low, so I don't know if it's the power steering pump or if the fluid is just very dirty and clogged up. All of these things that I'm mentioning to you guys that need to be replaced on this truck are very cheap and they're very easy to do, so I'm not too worried about that. If we do blow the head gaskets on the tune and the delete once it comes in this week, then we might be in a little world of hurt. That is the one thing I'm kind of scared about, is putting a tune and delete on here and blowing the head gaskets on this thing, because it does not take much to do it on this thing. So I want to let you know I am going to be at the Asher Automotive shop in Bryan, Texas on the 23rd of this month, and I'm going to just be in there filming. If you guys have any problems, I've been getting a ton of messages, is like where I take my truck to work on it, what I do to my truck, where do I take it, and how do I work on it. I usually work on my truck at Asher Automotive, so if you guys want to meet me there, I'll be there all day the 23rd filming for you guys. I'll leave the exact address. You guys can find it at the link in the description description down below. The last problem, and probably one of the biggest problems on this 6.0 Powerstroke, is going to be the boost leak. It has a very, I'm almost 99% positive it has a very bad boost leak on the cold side intercooler charge pipe. I do have a whole new intercooler system coming in this week, so that is also going to be, I'm getting all my mods kind of at one time. So we are swapping the entire air system with the intercooler pipes. But enough of the boring stuff, let's get into the fun stuff, the actual stuff I'm going to be doing to this badass rig. And then after I tell you that, I'm going to be doing the 0 to 60 on this truck. It is going to be an EGR delete and tune. Now the EGR deletes on these trucks are a lot easier than the newer trucks. You don't break bolts off as often on these. I'm super pumped. I got a tune and a delete coming in this week, I hope, and everything will be put on and installed by Friday. So I'm looking to have that done this week, and then we'll do a 0 to 60 test after the tune and the delete. And we're going to keep doing the 0 to 60 test after the stock. So every single mod I put on it, we're going to be doing a 0 to 60 test, and I'll also test the fuel mileage for shits and gigs. So with the more power, I'm going to need upgraded parts. So I am going to be doing some head studs and some possible head gaskets. I'm not sure yet. I might just wait till those blow up to actually do the head gaskets, but the head studs are an absolute must. A lot of these diesel performance sites, they won't even let you buy like a stage 3 turbo or stage 3 injectors without head studs on these things, just because they are almost guaranteed to blow up. If I'm going to do the head studs, I might as well just do the head gaskets as well, just because I'm already going to have the cab pulled anyway. So I think I'll just do both at one time. I'm going to have to do that in order to add more power and buy the stage 3 turbo and the stage 3 injectors that I'm looking for. That leads me into my next fun part on this truck, and that is a stage 3 KC turbo. I don't know what millimeter wheel I'm going to get. I am planning on getting a stage 3 and something that's absolutely going to rip. The timeline on the stage 3 turbo is going to be a little bit longer, because when you add that much air into these, especially these 6.0 Powerstrokes, they like to blow up really quick. So getting the head gaskets, the head studs, and new injectors first is going to be crucial to actually adding more air. And I'll probably end up needing a transmission as well. Me into my next one, and that is a transmission. I'm going to be getting an upgraded transmission. I don't know which transmission yet, but it is going to be coming in very soon. I will pop up a picture at the one I'm looking at right now. So that is the transmission that I'm probably going to go with. If you guys got a better transmission that you guys recommend I use, you guys can leave it down in the description down below. But those are kind of the main power upgrades that I'm going to do. Obviously there's some other small stuff, guys, that I might need to do to the truck, like upgraded oil cooler system to keep the truck at a cooler temp, and other things like that to where we don't blow the truck up very fast. So there are going to be some other aftermarket mods, give or take, that are going to be for making this truck as reliable as possible while producing the most power. The body on this truck is not very pleasing right now. If I were to take the front grille off and replace it with the stock one, it would look a lot better. That's basically my only problem. So I am going to be doing that. I'm going to be getting rid of this nasty front grille up there, and I'll be replacing it with a stock 6.0 Powerstroke grille. I've also got a new front hood for the truck, because there is a big ding up there, and I don't even think you can repaint that. So I am going to get a whole new front hood, and then we're going to do a full new paint job on this thing. I want to make sure it looks good, really good, especially if I'm going to be going to any sort of truck shows with this truck. And if it's going to be a project / show truck, then I am going to want to do a couple more things with it. The final and last modifications I want to do to this truck to make it cosmetically pleasing is the headlights. I want to add LED headlights, so that way everything looks good and it lights up the dark. And other than that, guys, this truck really doesn't need anything else. LED headlights will make it kind of wrap all together, and everything will look cosmetically pleasing and produce a shitload of power. Hopefully by 2024 we have everything done and everything installed. Once again, I am going to be at Asher Auto the 23rd. Now for the fun part, we're going to be doing the 0 to 60 test for you guys in the 6.0 Powerstroke, completely bone stock. Guys, we got a badass app to test our 0 to 60 here, so that is what we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to test the 0 to 60 here. 1, 2. Oh, it's so freaking slow. I'm pedal all the way down, guys. This is the hardest I've ever been on it. We didn't even get to 60. That's literally the slowest I've ever gone. I could try it one more time for you boys, but there's just no way we did not get to 60. There's got to be a major boost leak on this thing to not get to 60. All right, guys, we're going to try it again here. Build up some boost. And pedal down. 46, 49. All right, that's probably 60 right there. I'm not gonna go any faster than that. I'm gonna try it one more time here. We're gonna come to a complete stop. Pedal all the way down. And shit, we got the death wobble, boys. Oh, fuck me. I didn't even know these things could get the death wobble. We got death wobble out of hell, boys. It says that the 0-60 was 19.95, which I don't believe that at all. I think it's a lot of lag time too, boys, but it has a 4-inch lift on it and it's on a block, so it's gonna get the death wobble like crazy. Braking, and we hit a bump at the same time, and I think that's what caused it, but first time ever getting the death wobble. I've had the wiggles before, but that was a really small one compared to a lot of my buddies. I knew this front end was fucked when I got it, so there we have a lot of work, a lot of stuff to improve on. That's everything that's wrong with it. Other than that, that'll be it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.